Gusto ka? Ha? Nakita na kami. Ha?
And yet, well, at this time, Mario Barrios is going to fight Manny Pacquiao in July.
At 46 years old, most boxers are long retired, enjoying the quiet life or working from the commentary booth. But not Manny Pacquiao, the legendary 8-division world champion, is defying age and expectations once again, stepping back into the ring for a high-stakes comeback fight against rising welterweight star Mario Barrios. Inside his intense training camp, Pacquiao is proving that his speed, discipline, and warrior spirit haven't faded with time. With eyes locked on redemption and legacy, Pacquiao's latest journey is more than just a fight. It's a statement to the world that greatness doesn't come with an expiration. Music. Date Heat Eddie Hearn believes that Manny Pacquiao, even at his age, retains the skills to defeat most fighters outside the top 15 to 20 in the welterweight division. He acknowledges Pacquiao's diminished form due to age and inactivity, but emphasizes that his experience and ring intelligence still make him a formidable opponent. Hearn also notes that commercially a Pacquiao return makes sense, especially against opponents like Mario Barrios, who, while talented, are not at the elite level of fighters like Terence Crawford or Jaron Boots. And however, Hearn cautions that Pacquiao's prolonged absence from the ring could impact his performance, suggesting that while a comeback is feasible, it should be approached carefully. Manny Pacquiao's last professional bout was in August 2021, where he faced Yordenis Ugas and suffered a unanimous decision loss. Since then, he has been absent from the ring. Promoter Eddie Hearn has noted that prolonged inactivity can be detrimental, especially for aging fighters. While Pacquiao's desire to return is commendable, the physical demands of boxing at the highest level are considerable. At 46, the challenges of regaining peak physical condition and competing against younger active opponents are significant. Nonetheless, Pacquiao's extensive experience and ring intelligence could still make him a formidable presence in the welterweight division. His comeback against Mario Barrios for the WBC welterweight title in July 2025 underscores his enduring ambition to compete at the sport's pinnacle. However, the outcome of such a return remains uncertain given the rigorous demands of professional boxing and the natural effects of aging. In September 2021, Manny Pacquiao announced his retirement from boxing to focus on his political career, specifically his candidacy for the Philippine presidency in the 2022 elections. At 42, following a unanimous decision loss to Yordenis Ugas, Pacquiao acknowledged the physical toll of the sport, citing leg cramps during the fight as a sign of his body's limitations. Despite his passion for boxing, he recognized the need to prioritize his health and political commitments. In his retirement announcement, Pacquiao expressed gratitude for the sport that lifted him from poverty and allowed him to inspire others. He stated, "It is difficult for me to accept that my time as a boxer is over today. I am announcing my retirement."
147, kind of a weird spot right now. We're looking at Manny Pacquiao potentially facing Mario Barrios. What do you think of that fight?
Yeah, I think that, it's a very contentious subject. Like, people moaning about Manny Pacquiao. I think Manny Pacquiao is still good enough to beat most fighters in the top 20 at 147 pounds. He's clearly not the fighter that he once was. You're not going to be at that age. My problem is that he's been inactive for quite a long time. Like, we were talking about fighting him with Conor Benn maybe 6 months ago or a year, and every month or 3 months or 6 months that passes, you do become a lot older. So, I guess there's two questions. One is, should he be fighting again? And at the end of the day, if he's good enough to beat everybody outside of the top 20 in the world, then why not? But should he be fighting for the world title? I guess that's another question. In the commercial world of boxing, the answer is yeah, probably. In the ratings world and activity world, the answer is probably not.
Do you think it's strange that he's coming off the couch and getting a title fight like that?
I think when you've achieved what he's achieved, you've always got the right to do things a little bit differently to others. And with all due respect, Barrios is not Boots, and Barrios is not Crawford. You know, and that's why, you know, we pushed the Conor Benn fight. Conor Benn, like, his best win is against Algieri or Van Heerden. So actually Pacquiao is a step up. You know, people were still complaining at me for mentioning that fight, like Conor Benn is Boots, you know, but he still hasn't had those wins yet.
Stephen A. Smith shared his thoughts on Manny Pacquiao's retirement in a brief video segment. Expressing deep respect for Pacquiao's illustrious career, he highlighted Pacquiao's remarkable achievements, including his status as an 8-division world champion and his significant impact on the sport of boxing. Smith emphasized Pacquiao's unique ability to inspire fans worldwide, not only through his athletic prowess, but also through his humility and dedication outside the ring. Manny Pacquiao is set to make a remarkable return to professional boxing at the age of 46, facing WBC welterweight champion Mario Barrios in July 2025. This bout marks Pacquiao's first professional fight since his 2021 loss to Yordenis Ugas. Despite a 4-year hiatus, Pacquiao aims to add another title to his illustrious career, which includes championships in 8 different weight divisions. The fight is scheduled to take place at the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas on July 19, 2025, pending the outcome of Pacquiao's Senate re-election campaign in the Philippines. On May 12, Barrios, 29, holds a professional record of 29 wins, 2 losses, and 1 draw with 18 knockouts. He became the WBC interim welterweight champion after defeating Ugas in September 2023 and was elevated to full champion status in June 2024 following Terence Crawford's move to the 154-pound division. Barrios retained his title in a split draw against Abel Ramos in November 2024. Pacquiao's return has generated mixed reactions within the boxing community. Some fans are excited to see the legendary boxer back in action, while others express concern about his ability to compete at a high level after such a long break. WBC President Mauricio Sullivan defended Pacquiao's right to challenge for a title, referencing the organization's rules that allow notable former champions to request title fights. Upon returning from retirement, the fight against Barrios is not just about the title. It represents Pacquiao's enduring legacy in the sport, known for his relentless fighting style and ability to overcome challenges. Pacquiao's return to the ring could serve as a testament to his dedication to boxing even as he navigates the complexities of his political career. If victorious, Pacquiao would become the oldest welterweight champion in boxing history, further cementing his status as one of the sport's all-time greats.
Remember that one. Pacquiao is now planning to run for president in his native Philippines this upcoming May. But Shannon, how will you remember Manny as a boxer?
Historically great fighter.
Good for you.
The only fighter to win 8 world titles. I mean, Skip, he started out boxing, he was 106 pounds, won a title at, I think, 112, and went all the way up to
108 first.
Went all the way up to 154.
It's impossible. It's just...
I don't believe, I feel very comfortable and said I don't believe we'll ever see that again, Skip.
We'll never see it again.
And it wasn't like he was fighting bums. When you go back and look at Marco Antonio Barrera and Eric Morales and Oscar Larios and De La Hoya and Hatton and Cotto, Margarita, Mosley, Timothy Bradley, Mayweather, Skip. I mean, what do you got to say? He was a champion in 4 different decades.
Yep.
Fighter of the year. First ballot Hall of Fame. He's great. He fought everybody.
I say trainer Greg Hackett didn't hold back. When giving his take on Manny Pacquiao's shocking return against Mario Barrios, Hackett, speaking candidly, said that if this fight had happened several years ago, Pacquiao would have easily handled Barrios. But now the situation is different. Hackett emphasized that this version of Pacquiao is far removed from the explosive fighter fans remember at 45. The Filipino legend isn't expected to have the same speed, endurance, or killer instinct. Hacked called this bout a money fight and not a competitive clash between two peak athletes. It's more of a spectacle, he insists. The Filipino icon is set to challenge WBC welterweight champion Mario Barrios in July, marking his first professional bout since August 2021. The fight was confirmed by WBC President Mauricio Sullivan, who called it a tremendous fight while speaking to Boxing King Media for boxing fans around the world. This is a momentous event as one of the sport's all-time great steps back into the spotlight. Pacquiao's last appearance in the ring ended in a unanimous decision loss to Yordenis Ugas shortly after he announced his retirement from professional boxing to focus on his political career, including an unsuccessful run for the presidency of the Philippines in 2022. During his time away from the sport, he remained active in public service and philanthropy, while rumors of potential comeback continued to circulate. The upcoming bout against Mario Barrios is significant for many reasons. Barrios is a skilled and powerful fighter, currently holding the prestigious green and gold WBC title. For Pacquiao, it's not just a return, it's a chance to make history once again. If victorious, he would become the oldest welterweight champion in boxing history, further adding to his legendary resume. This fight also sparks discussion about whether elite-level fighters can defy age and time. While some question the physical toll such a comeback might take, others believe Pacquiao's ring IQ, experience, and conditioning still make him a threat to younger contenders. Regardless of the outcome, Pacquiao's return is already a major moment in the boxing world, reigniting excitement among his global fan base and adding a new chapter to an already iconic career. Speculation is heating up that Manny Pacquiao's upcoming bout with Mario Barrios may be more than just a comeback. It could be a strategic move toward one last mega fight. Rumors are swirling that if Pacquiao defeats Barrios and claims the WBC welterweight title, he may set his sights on Gervonta Tank Davis, one of boxing's biggest current stars. The potential clash between Pacquiao, a living legend, and Davis, a knockout artist in his prime, would be a massive pay-per-view event generating global attention. This has led many fans and analysts to question whether Barrios was selected strategically. While Barrios is a solid champion, he's not seen as an unbeatable force in the division. Some suggest Pacquiao's team views him as a winnable fight, tough enough to legitimize the comeback, but manageable for a well-prepared Pacquiao. The theory goes that a win here would not only earn Pacquiao another world title, but also create the perfect narrative for a high-stakes generational showdown with Davis. If the speculation proves true, Pacquiao's comeback could be far more than a farewell. It could be the opening act of a carefully crafted path toward one final blockbuster bout. For now, all eyes are on July and whether the legend can turn back time once again.
In a world title fight against the WBC welterweight champion Mario Barrios. Date yet to be confirmed. Venue yet to be confirmed, but it looks like it will be in July and in Las Vegas. Yeah, massive news announced yesterday by the WBC president, and it was so out of left field. Pacquiao hasn't fought professionally since 2021. That was 4 years ago. He was 41 at the time, and of course he lost to Yordenis Ugas, the very, very tricky Cuban fighter. Convincingly lost to Yordenis Ugas, and in that fight 4 years ago, as I said,
if Pacquiao does beat Barrios, a potential showdown with Davis could instantly become one of the most anticipated fights in recent boxing history. The narrative writes itself: two explosive southpaws from different eras, both known for their knockout power, speed, and charisma, clashing under the brightest lights. On one side, you have Pacquiao, the 8-division world champion and global icon, returning to prove he still belongs at the elite level. On the other hand, Gervonta Davis, the undefeated powerhouse and one of the sport's current top draws, is hungry to add a legend's name to his resume. The fight would transcend the sport, attracting not only hardcore boxing fans, but also mainstream media and casual viewers, with both fighters commanding huge fan bases. And strong pay-per-view appeal, the bout would likely become a global event rivaling some of the biggest matches of the last decade. The matchup adds even more intrigue. Both fighters are aggressive, fast, and capable of ending a fight with one shot. It would be a true old lion versus young king moment. And whether it's a passion of the torch or one last statement from a legend, the drama and stakes would be sky-high. Max Kellerman makes a compelling case that Manny Pacquiao deserves serious consideration as the greatest pound-for-pound fighter in boxing history. While he concedes that Sugar Ray Robinson is traditionally regarded as the gold standard, praised for his unmatched skill, dominance, and longevity, Kellerman argues that Pacquiao's unique resume sets him apart in its own right. Kellerman highlights that evaluating greatness hinges on the criteria used: peak dominance versus overall career achievements. If you value sheer dominance at a fighter's peak, Robinson may edge out the competition. But if you're weighing total accomplishments over an entire career, Pacquiao's record becomes difficult to ignore. He is the only boxer in history to win world titles in 8 different weight divisions, an unprecedented feat. Not only did Pacquiao compete across a wide range of weight classes, but he defeated elite opponents in nearly all of them, often moving up in weight and still maintaining his speed, power, and effectiveness. Kellerman also emphasizes Pacquiao's longevity and adaptability, noting that he remained competitive and dangerous into his 40s, something very few fighters have achieved at the championship level in the end. While Robinson may still hold the crown for many, Kellerman insists that Pacquiao's body of work earns him a legitimate place in that conversation.
Pacquiao trying to hit a lick, you know what I mean? But Pacquiao not Pacquiao no more. It's tough to go against him in this situation, because if it was some years ago, Pacquiao would beat Barrios. But right now, Barrios, with his momentum, might around and beat Pacquiao up. I mean, not knock him out, but, you know what I mean, beat him on the cards, beat him behind that jab.
Similar to like Ugas, the Ugas fight?
Yeah, like on shit like that. It's a good fight, but it's more of a good fight for Barrios. Pacquiao don't need it, but Pacquiao want to come back, and he want to come back with a bang, so, I mean, why not? If he can make it happen, make it happen. Because I would love, if Barrios was my fighter, I would love to have a Pacquiao on the record. I mean, I would love something like this. And that's a fight you know you got to get ready for.
Manny Pacquiao's peak as a fighter is widely considered to be during his run between 140–147 pounds, a period in which he delivered some of the most dominant performances of his career. His combination of speed, power, and relentless aggression overwhelmed opponents who were naturally bigger, further amplifying his legend. This stretch also coincided with the peak public demand for a super fight between Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather, as both fighters were at the top of their games in the same weight class. Boxing analysts point out that while he personally leaned toward Mayweather in a hypothetical matchup, citing Floyd's natural size advantage and unmatched defensive skills, Pacquiao's ability to move up in weight while still dominating world-class opponents made his pound-for-pound case incredibly strong. Unlike many fighters who lose effectiveness when changing weight classes, Pacquiao remained explosive and competitive, even against naturally larger adversaries. His achievements across 8 weight divisions, especially during his 140 to 147 pounds range, showcased his rare versatility and resilience, making him one of the most accomplished and respected fighters in the history of the sport.